All right, let's take a quick listen here, right? This is Tiger Woods, the GOAT himself. One bit of advice he would give to an amateur. Listen in.
What's the one tip that you would give an amateur if he or she wanted to just improve their game? Don't watch YouTube. Okay.
All right, you heard it yourself. Don't watch effing YouTube, right? And what are we doing here? We're watching a YouTube video. We're watching one of Zach Allen's videos. We could be watching a Mark Crossfield video, a Rick Shields video, a Danny Maude video, right? Tom Seguro. So many choices of instructors to be able to watch. So now why would Tiger say that? And I think you probably get his sentiment, right? There's a lot of information out there that's coming from many different sources, all of which probably have not seen your personal golf swing, okay? So we want to be able to use YouTube as a tool, right? Whether it be one of my videos or someone else's, as a tool that actually improves your golf swing, that improves your ball striking, your distance, your consistency, and in turn improves your score. But as you know, right, it's probably worked out the other way at times. You've done some of the things that people have recommended in videos and they didn't work out for you. You gained more swing thoughts, more technical concepts in your head as you stood over the ball, right? The checklist went higher and higher, right? You started going from swing A to swing B to Tom Segudo's swing to Eric Cagorno's swing to all these different swings. So how can we use YouTube in a constructive way that actually helps us to improve and just make, it doesn't have to be like rocket ship progress, but just consistent, steady upward progress, right? I think that's all we could really ask for, okay? So I think a couple of things that are really important when you're watching any YouTube video is it's good to have it from one particular source, right? If I'm your guy, if somebody else is your guy, I'm not offended at all, but your main trusting source is coming from one instructor. When it starts coming from different instructors, they have different models in their head, different ways of getting things done. You could start to get some conflicting information. So I would try to choose somebody and stick with that. Not that you shouldn't watch other instructors, right? Because that's kind of my next point. It's great to watch YouTube videos. I'm a pretty avid biker. I watch 2 or 3 cycling videos every day. Some are that are instructional, some are that are just informational, some that are just entertaining, okay? So think of it, right? Because obviously a lot of the golf content out there is instruction, right? If you're watching an instruction video, really make a switch in your head. Like, you know what, this is just entertainment. I might learn something today that might help my friend swing, but I need to make a conscious decision. Is this actually about my golf swing? Am I going to actually try to implement and do this? And the problem therein lies when every video we watch, we go out on the driving range and we try to do that the next time out. That's not going to work out well. That's going to be what you call paralysis by analysis, right? Information overload. The cognitive load in our brain gets so high because we start compiling swing thoughts that when we get over the ball, we're going to be just wrought with tension and anxiety because there's just too many things going on, right? A great story that someone told me a while back about Chichi Rodriguez. I don't know if you ever know, he was the guy that did the sword fighting, and then he'd put it in his pocket and he'd put it in the holster.
That's a birdie putt for Chichi Rodriguez. Yes! So we have a little dueling. Think wipe off the sword now. Back from 2 to 1 over par.
Right? He was an amazing putter on tour. He's actually a very long hitter too, but he was mostly known for his putting. He's one of the best putters on tour during the late 70s, early 80s. And Golf Digest said, hey, Chichi, you're amazing. You need to write an article about just what you do so you can help all of our viewers, right, putting percentages. So he goes, sure thing. So he wrote an article. He said it took him like 2 days, wrote out all the stuff that he did, what he worked on, how he got great. And he goes, as soon as I sent that article in, I went out and putted. He goes, I never putted the same again my entire career. He goes, and you know, they ask him why. He goes, well, I never thought about what I did. It just came so natural, right? And as soon as I started to think about it, my putting was never the same, okay? So a lot of that can be said as far as, obviously we're not some natural putter like Chichi Rodriguez, but sometimes more thinking is not the way to be a natural athletic person, right? It starts to get in the way of just our natural coordination, our natural timing, our natural rhythm. And even though the thoughts could be right, they're not going to help you hit it better. Okay? So the thing to do is, one instructor is going to be your main source for your swing knowledge, okay? The second thing is to realize that your swing is personal to you, right? It's obviously different. Think of like a fingerprint, a snowflake. It's different than everybody else's. Good chances are if your buddy in your foursome is giving you a tip on how to hit it better, it's probably because it helps him hit it better, but it might not help you hit it better. So you always have to know, like, man, your swing is totally unique to you, good or bad. So the best thing that you can do is record your swing from time to time so you can get to know it. What's good about it, what's not so good about it. Go take a lesson from one of your local professionals. They're going to hopefully give you an unbiased opinion and feedback on, hey, this is what could help your swing. This is what you do well. These are the things you got to be careful of, okay? So this is a great little excerpt here. This is Rick Smith talking. He taught Jack Nicklaus, Lee Janzen, US Open champion, Phil Mickelson, many majors won, so a lot of great players. And he's talking about how difficult it is in this day and age to be able to kind of stick to a decent game plan for an individual golfer because of YouTube and things like it. So let's listen in here real quick.
Let's assign, this is your book, and let's keep it, a little journal of everything that you're working on and why and what you're feeling when you're successful, why you're feeling what you're feeling, what you're working on that day.
Do that, yeah.
But I go, your book's different than his book. Your book's different than his book. And that's what's lost too, I think. There's just too much information that doesn't really apply to anybody.
So what great advice there, right? Let's know our own playbook, stick to our own playbook, keep things within our household as far as your golf household, right? Know your game, know what makes it tick, know the things you need to kind of look out for and be working on, right? Like, to give you an example right now, like me in particular, I'm working on trying to get my backswing to be a little bit wider out here. So I've got some drills and feels to where I'm kind of just feeling like I'm extending my arms. I felt like I was kind of picking my arms up a little bit like this in my backswing. So if I go on YouTube and I start looking at videos, if it doesn't have to do with that fact or what I'm doing, I'm going to just kind of disregard it and just watch it as entertainment, right? I love watching YouTube videos too. I love watching what different instructors are doing and teaching. I love to see the creative ways they go about helping people get better. But I don't want to store that information, right? Because it's not going to help me do what I need to do, right? If it happens to be about that, or I maybe go and search on something about that, about width in the backswing, okay? And even if you find a video about this thing in particular, it might not be exactly how you need to work on it. That's a decision you want to make for yourself. If you feel like I need a little more feedback or a better drill or a better way to interpret, how this should feel to me, okay, let's go look. But if not, I would say a lot of times the best thing, right, the best plan is to keep it simple and not kind of compile more thoughts, right? A lot of the golf swing, think of it like a sculpture, right? This giant big thing of clay, and we're trying to take things off it to make it look like something very beautiful and something very, very good. We're not trying to always add stuff onto it. So sometimes people go about it as in more is better. The more videos I watch, the more information I gather, the more I know, the better I'll play. It's like, nah, that didn't really work out for Chichi Rodriguez, right? It's not always better. Keep it simple. So when I'm practicing right now, I'll do a couple drills where I just kind of extend my hands and arms out. I have a little band that I have in my house where I'll kind of just push away in a little bit of a punching fashion. Feel a little stretch across my lats and my back. And then I'll go ahead and hit balls with just that simple feeling alone. So from that point on, right, as I'm kind of working through a swing thought like that, I'm really trying to just be diligent in keeping it to one thought, one area, and that really proves to give me a lot of progress and success over time. If I'm out there and I'm thinking about this, and then I'm thinking about how it's going to come down, how it's going to look at impact. That's too many thoughts, and definitely it's too many if I'm starting to kind of connect those with other videos or other articles that I've read. It's way too many things going on in a matter of about 1.5 seconds, which is how long it takes from address to when you hit the golf ball. Too many things, right? Produces a lot of strain, tension, and anxiety. Hey, it's your coach, Zach Allen here. And if you'd like to permanently eliminate your slice, add 20 or more yards to your drives, and make consistently flush contact swing after swing, then I've got just the thing for you. I'm about to show you a method that will fix your swing fast. In fact, we often see huge improvements on the very first swing. Since I don't have enough time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part mini clinic where I walk you through the exact process, nothing held back. I call it the One Swing Fix, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. The training isn't available anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, now let's get back to today's lesson. So take it from the GOAT. I think that's what he meant when he said, don't watch effing YouTube. I don't think he's doing that because I know from a source that he watches golf YouTube videos, right? So that's not what he means, but he says, get good at being able to separate, okay, probably 80% of what I watch is just going to be entertainment, right? Because it's fun to watch videos. They're free, they're entertaining, but then only maybe 20% or so is going to help you out. Get your own playbook, like what Rick Smith was talking about, right? Be able to really learn and decipher. This is what makes my personal swing work. And always realize your swing is different than everybody else's. Don't go telling other people what makes your swing work. And then once again, don't have these big rabbit ears where you're always listening to advice from your playing partners. Oh, you should do this. You should do, oh, you did this. And we're very susceptible when we hit a bad golf shot, right? As soon as you hit a bad shot, someone's going to always be quick to give you a tip. It's probably not right, especially if it's not in your personal playbook. So believe me, trust me, I've been reading golf magazine articles since I was 12 years old, right? Watch many golf videos. I've had to get very good at being able to separate what's entertainment and what is actually something I'm going to incorporate into my game and in my swing. And I've actually gotten pickier and pickier and pickier over the years because I know the best way for me to work is with a very simple framework up in my head, okay? So I know that sounds weird because you're like, well, you know, my swing's not as good as yours, Zach, right? I've got this wrong and that. It's like, okay, pick somewhere to start. You know, usually the best place to start is whatever occurs first. If it's something bad happens in your takeaway, that's going to affect your top of backswing, your transition, impact. So just kind of start tackling it one at a time, right? Let's kind of pick a takeaway thing first. And you'll see you'll make consistent progress, right? And that's all we want out there is just consistent forward progress. Doesn't mean don't watch YouTube because obviously I'm a YouTube golf instructor, so I want you to watch videos, right? But watch them with that in mind. I hope that helps you out, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great week.